How are we? So we are going to look at life skills that will help very many of us and the other adolescents develop or grow into good adults. And as we look at these life skills, we shall look at the definition of life skills, and we want to have this class very participatory so that we can hear from everyone. And I want to begin by defining what a life skill is for us so that we can link it to other bits that we're supposed to look at. Or maybe someone could give us their own definition of what they think a life skill is. Anyone?
Thank you so much. In my own perspective, these are capabilities for someone to adapt different ways in how to manage challenges, stress, and everything that happens in one's life, and on how to deal with them or manage them. So it's like kind of an ability for you to cope up with whatsoever happens in your life.
Okay, thank you very much. I believe we all go through stressors in life or challenges in life, and it is an ability. It takes someone that has some ability to actually cope up with that kind of challenge or stress, and that is what we call a skill. So we are going to continue and look at the different categories of these skills. And as we look at those, there are mainly 3 categories, and one of them is the skills of knowing your own self and living with yourself. And so to that one, I would have some personal experiences or personal stories that are shared for us to understand it better.
Thank you very much. Well, this is like a personal experience growing up. You know, as a male growing up, you have to be tall and all that. But in that process of growth, you see that your other brothers are growing taller than you, and you're asking yourself, well, what's wrong? Yeah, but you know, with time as you grow, you realize that it's part of life. Not everyone is supposed to be of the same height or the same shape. You accept it, you own it, and you actually live happily when you accept it. Yeah.
Thank you very much for that personal story. We shall have one more and then we can understand it better.
Thank you so much. My personal experience while growing up, when I was in my O-level, I was so stubborn. I could not read. I could always think that I wasn't capable to perform better because I never gave myself time to read, to discuss with my fellow peers, because I thought that even when I discussed, nothing good will come out of it. So I didn't perform so well in my O-level, thinking that I wasn't capable, that I wasn't wise enough to take up maybe the good positions in class. But during my HSC, when I chose my personal course combination, I chose it by myself, and it's something that I wanted. That's when I realized that I can perform better. That's when I realized that time is really moving, and I really have to find myself, what I'm capable of doing, and perform better. And surprisingly, I performed well with good points that took me to the university. And when I reached the university, I performed so well. I did a course. I did social work and social administration, where I performed with a bachelor's degree, and it was a first-class degree. So that's when I realized that all along I could perform better. I never thought that I could really even get a first class at any single moment in life. So it's something that with time I realized I was bright, I would say.
Okay, yeah. Thank you very much. I think borrowing from there 2 scenarios or 2 personal stories where he thought every man is supposed to grow taller, and even the young brothers were growing taller, and for him he was, still shorter. I think it is very important for young people like you and other young people out there to understand who they are, to know that yes, God created me when I am short or when I am tall, and it is okay, that is who I am. And you do not have to do anything to actually struggle to be tall. Likewise to our sister Claire, who is saying she thought she wasn't wise. It is important that you know your capabilities, because then that helps us to have what we call a sense of belonging which attributes back to self-esteem. So it is very important that we all understand who we are. What are our abilities? What are our capabilities? What are your weaknesses? What are your strengths? Otherwise, very many people will keep pulling us down, but we shouldn't forget that no one defines us. We define our own selves. So after that one skill within the skills of living with self and with living with self, knowing and living with self, we also have another life skill. And that life skill is going to be demonstrated, and then we shall also throw some more light about it.
So we are going to share something small. I'm going to be interviewing my friend on how she managed to be what she is right now. Hello. How are you? I'm okay. I'm Claire. Terry, nice to meet you. Terry, I want you to share with us. We are all young people, but most of us sometimes we have different challenges that we face in life, whereby sometimes we feel down, we feel like we are not capable of doing whatsoever we do. So I've heard a lot about you, and I want you to share with us. For you to be Terry, to be where you are right now, what has inspired you?
Basically, I think it's having confidence. Then again, if you believe in yourself, you can do anything. You can do like anything if you believe in yourself and don't look at what people think about you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So you mean when someone puts you down, you mean you can still lift up yourself? Because we've seen many young people out there thinking that even when someone talks ill about you, you're all done. Like you can't come up as a person and do something for yourself. So you mean if I'm confident enough and if I can really find myself, you mean I can really be someone in future?
Yes, you can actually. If you believe in yourself, it's the first thing you should put put in your mind if you're to do better in life. You should leave other people's. People are so negative, and if you think negatively, you will never prosper in life. So you just have to be positive, believe in yourself that you can do anything that no one has to.
Okay, thank you so much, Terry. Maybe lastly, can you please share with me what other young people out there can do to self-realize themselves and to know what they are capable of doing and know, what not to be taken as when they're growing up as young people, and what they need to do to prosper in everything?
Okay, the first thing is you have to have confidence. You have to be able to speak for yourself. Like you have to be able to speak out for your rights, for what you want. You have to believe in yourself first, because if you believe in yourself, it's the first step to success in life.
Okay, thank you so much, Terry. So young people out there, as our sister shared, it's about you. It starts with you and everything else can come. So believe in yourself, work hard, and things will always come your way. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Claire and Terry. That was well done. You can see that believing in yourself is another life skill that is very, very important for us to live with our own selves. And that I would also call it self-esteem, or what some people refer to as self-esteem. It is very important to believe in yourself. However much people say you're ugly or you cannot do it, just tell yourself, Priscilla or Terry or Claire, I can do it. And then lastly, we want to also have another demonstration on another life skill. I wouldn't want to say it. I want us to pick the skill into what is going to be demonstrated. Let's have another team.
Let's just try. Let's try. No, I won't. It's not something big. You want to break my answer. It's okay. People will come at you.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope that was also very loud and clear. There were one peer was trying to tell the other about using drugs, and we saw that Janelle was saying, no, I cannot do that. However much she was told it's being cool or being an urban youth, she said, no, I cannot continue to do that. So we see that she is trying to be assertive. She is trying to say no, and she meant her no. When we are trying to be assertive, we need to mind about the contact or what our faces are communicating. What is your facial communicating? Your verbal could be saying no, but your facial is also saying a yes. That is why most of the time they say that when a girl says yes, when they say no, they actually mean a yes. But it's also because of the way we say our no. So you're supposed to look boldly into Terry's eyes and tell her, I am not going to do drugs because of the reasons that you have. So those are some of the skills that we have of living with self. And there are also other 2 skills that I would want to discuss, where we have skills of coping with emotions and stress. Today, young people are very stressed because of coronavirus. Everyone is tired of being home. They are tired of doing house chores. One of the young people said, my parents are always telling me, wake up and read, go and read. Like all the stories or advice is about reading books. And she is tired. She's stressed because of that pressure around books. And the question is, how are we coping with all those stresses that we have? Or how are we coping with those emotions that we have? It is also very important. I think some of the things that we need to know as young people, we need to find things that please us or things that make us happy. If it is music that makes you happy, go and listen to the music. If it is watching TV and you have an opportunity, please watch the TV. If it's playing or football or volleyball, any sport, go and do it. Because then if it's meditating, like one of us shared, that when they have an emotion or when they are stressed out, they go and meditate. Some of you can also go and read the Bible, read the Quran, so that you can cool off that anger or that urge or whatever stress that you may have. So those are some of the life skills that we have of knowing and living with self. They are very, very important for us to grow, or they are very important in this life of development, because even then they will help us make informed decisions. So we are going to look at another category of life skills, and that is going to be the skills of living with yourself and
Others.
yes. So we need to first understand who we are, and the first set of life skills has helped us understand who we are. I am Priscilla, I know I am beautiful, I know I am wise, everything good. You have to attribute everything nice to yourself. Then how do I live with other people? Yes, I am beautiful. Do I have to tell everyone how beautiful I am? How do you live with other people? So looking at those skills, we have a demonstration that we also want to do within the different skills that we have under the skills of living with self and others. And that demonstration will also bring out life skills that I don't want to mention, but we shall mention them after. And we want to begin with the one that brings out friend and interpersonal. So let's have that team demonstrate that before we continue.
Hi.
Hi.
You seem to be new, are you?
Yeah, I'm new.
What's your name?
Shubi
Oh, I'm Janelle. Which school are you from?
from Vienna.
Vienna is a nice school. Why would you leave?
Because my parents wanted to put me in a more
Some
strict
action to that.
environment.
That's just how parents are.
Yeah.
Anyway. But oh, yeah, I can help you, show you around the school and everything, basically.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Anytime. Anyway, see you around.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shubi. What life skill did we see? What did they demonstrate? Which life skill did we see?
Associating.
Yes, the skills of friendship formation. How do we make friends, or how do we relate with others? It also brings out the skill of interpersonal relationships. Most of the time we come or we leave home and go to school, and some of us are very open people, some other people are very quiet people, or someone would refer to them as introverts. They keep quiet, they come to school and sit in their corner and just look at everyone who is passing, very scared of what we do not know, of the unknown, I would say. And for us, we are saying, as a young person, it is very good for you to make friends. How do you make those friends? You can just do what Chanel just did. Go greet someone, say hello, welcome them into the school, and the next thing you know, tomorrow they might be looking out for you because of the welcome or the warm welcome that you shared with them. And then the issue of relating with others. It is very important, because someone today could call that networking. It is friends that help us sometimes in life, or most of the times in life. Because today the friends we make are the same friends that have actually grown to be employers to some of us. They have grown to be our guardians or anything that you could call them. So we have those two skills that are really very important as we live with our own selves and others. They usually say it is very hard to give out what you don't have. Meaning if you do not love yourself or you do not appreciate yourself, you cannot appreciate other people. So it is important that we appreciate who we are, and then that is when we shall also appreciate and embrace the other people. We also have another life skill under the skills of knowing and living with others. Who knows that other skill? Someone could share. People are too quiet. Anyone? Anyone who wants to tell us that other life skill? Charlotte. We have a skill we call defective communication. How do we communicate? How do we communicate? Communication is about sending and receiving messages. But the most important thing is also the feedback that we get. Most of the time we are at home, especially now that we have the pandemic. We are spending much of our time with our parents or guardians and then other siblings. And we are communicating every day. The question is, what is the tone of the voice? How are you talking to your parents? How are they talking to you? Some of you, your parents are shouting. Because of perhaps the nature of the young person they have at home, you're very stubborn, and the only thing they can do for you to listen to them is actually shouting. But as we are relating with other people, we are saying it wouldn't be good for you to shout. Let the tone be calm as you're communicating to your friends. Let's have a tone that is calm and you know, communicating effectively. Because when you shout or when you're very loud, someone could actually miss the point. Then the other thing that we look at within the effective communication is the listening. Most of the time, someone is speaking like I'm speaking now, and some people who are watching are actually listening actively because they are nodding their head. I know they are not, for example, with us here, but they are watching and they are nodding in trying to give feedback of, yes, that is right, or that is important for me to have. So meaning if you're shaking your head or communicating non-verbally, that implies that you're receiving the message as perhaps it was intended. And then if opportunity is given, you're even ready to give feedback about it. So effective communication is also very, very important. And we are going to also look at the last two skills, and those skills, we have peer pressure, but the skill in it is the resistance. How are young people out there in this pandemic resisting the peer pressure within the neighborhood? How are you doing it at school? Let's have a demonstration for that, and then we can proceed.